Hello, it is me. Here we go again. Let's get ready for Blast Off. Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, you did it. Oh yes, you did it. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be watching, or good night if you're watching in Australia. Hello there, because I know there are a few people from Australia that watch this live show. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Elvis the Ultimate Fan channel. And you're probably wondering, what is he on about? What does he mean? You did it, you did it. Well, you, dear viewer, yes, you, not me, I didn't do anything. You got more, or you gave more than 300 thumbs up likes for last week's video. As you can see at the top of the screen, we put a target of 300 likes on the video, and it did. It got more than 300. So what you want to do is you want to go like that, and you just want to pat yourself on the back, because it's people like you that are watching this video now on live and on playback, whatever you want to call it, rewatch, that gave it those 300 plus likes. So well done. And as I always say every week, every thumbs up is a thumbs up for Elvis. So Don Dowhan says, hello, Steve. And I see a load of people in the chat. Arkansas Dave, Lou Dane, 300 likes. Let's do it again for this show. Thanks, Lou Dane. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Maxine, for chipping in and helping out on the moderation as always. So what have we got? We have got live interactive poll. There'll be a poll coming up later on, which I'll want you to vote on. I wish Elvis had recorded. Photoshop of the week. Caption this photo. Yeah, because what I do on a Monday or a Tuesday is on the community tab, which you'll just find there when you go to the channel, is a photograph, and it can be a humorous photograph. It can be a serious photograph. And I just like to ask people to put a caption to the photograph, and my favorite, you get a shout out on a Sunday, or sometimes I pick the one that has the most thumbs up. But I was looking, actually, not many people gave the comments or the caption comments a thumbs up this week. I don't know why. Maybe they just forgot to do it. I don't know. But if you can, maybe remember this coming week, if there's a caption that you like after you've left your caption, give it a thumbs up. And the person that gets the most thumbs up gets a shout out on the show. What else? Oh, smoking hot photo. This day in Elvis history. A YouTube channel I recommend. There's that one coming up as well. Yeah, let's have a look at the I wish Elvis had recorded. Doug Dickerson. Thanks, Doug, for sending this one in. It's yours I've picked this week. So stick around if you're watching, Doug. I'm not sure if you're watching or not. But anyway, yes, Doug has picked this week's the song I wish Elvis had recorded. Now, you can see the backdrop. Obviously, you know where this is. And I was actually the other side of that glass last week. So I decided to move in here this week just to I don't know, because I felt like it. I don't know whether I can get into the control room next week. What about that? Will I try and move that way into the control room? And yeah, I'll try and do that. Right, so coming up is the Fan of the Month quiz. And before we go any further, I would like to say thanks for all the kind messages and emails and show of support during the week, and all the ideas that you send in, and the smoking hot photographs that you send in. You know, Steve, I think this is a smoking hot photograph. Maybe you can use this, and things like that. So yeah, it's great. It really is great for you to do that. And I don't get to use a jingle this week. What's this? Timothy, you'll keep moving in on Steve. Yeah, I will. I'll try and get in. I'll try and get into the control room next week. Thank you, Dave. That's very kind. I don't use a jingle this week because it's not the mystery voice. It's not backwards Elvis. So it is Elvis songs. Do you remember we've did this for a few months, and then I kind of backed away from it for a while. Well, it's back again. Basically what it is I give you the first letter of each word in the song title, and then you have to give me the song title. Wally Marcel says, love Mystery Voice. Well, the Mystery Voice will be coming back, as will Name This Jumpsuit, and all those other things. I'll keep them on rotation because I know people do like them. So yeah, you probably saw me at the start of the show going like that. Well, that was just a little sign of what's just happened. If you're into English soccer or English football, you'll know why I was doing it was very, very close for my team. But anyway, this is a Elvis channel, and we won't say any more about that. But just enough to say that I'm a very happy chappy. Right, so if everybody is ready, and I can see that Arkansas Dave is ready, I can see that Lou Dane is ready, and Maxine is ready. I'm going to go for this 6 song titles, and I still haven't decided what I can give for this month's prize. Although there is a nice prize, an Elvis 1972, but it's a vinyl, and I don't know how many of you out there now still listen to vinyl. So that might only, if the winner listens to vinyl, then that's great. I might give them that Elvis 72 in Vegas vinyl, but we'll see anyway. Right, so without further ado, I'm going to say that this is the first song title, and it is GGBHS. Okay? GGBHS. And I'm going to start early by saying this. If you can please give a thumbs up for this video. Let's get another 300 likes or more. Sandra says, oh, Doug, can't wait for the reveal. Yeah, Doug Dickerson's I Wish Elvis Had Recorded. Okay, so it looks like somebody has... yeah, Maxine says no better sound, actually. She's right. A vinyl record is better than any digital sound. Dylan Bowen says stumped. You see now, Dylan had 6, was it 5 or 6 last week? And there has been a person in the past that got all 6 right. Danny B-side got all 6 right. Right, so it is Jack Mullins, and it is Gonna Get Back Home Somehow. But however, a shout out to Elvis Austin, Dan O'Malley. Yeah. What a surprise. Well done, Jack. Yeah. Monique says going to get back home somehow. Close. Right. Arkansas Dave says, yes, vinyl still making a comeback. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people actually prefer vinyl to compact discs and downloads and streaming. Anyway, Jack gets this.
May I help you?
Aren't you cold?
Only from 9 to 5.
I'm going to miss that one when I have to change it. Aren't you cold? Because every week I go, aren't you cold? Right, Jack Mullins. All right. So that's 1 of 5. Okay. Let's have a look. Nice, Jack, says Dylan. Duncan Campbell says, go, Jack. Debbie says, you guys are so smart. Yeah. Okay, right, here we go. Ooh, this is a long one. ITIGLIH. ITIGLIT. Sorry. ITIGLIH. I nearly put an extra T in there. They're not all that long, by the way. Just in case you're thinking they're all going to be that long. ITIGLIH. Yeah, I actually see that somebody has got it right. Or Banjo says trombone. Do you know, I can't remember where the trombone is. Is it here? Oh, it is. There you go, Banjo. All right. Elvis Austin says, I think I'm going to like it here. Yeah. Okay. Monique. Well done, Monique, because it was Monique first that got that. Okay. So she gets this.
May I help you?
Aren't you cold?
Only from 9 to 5.
Only from 9 to 5. Yeah, I'll bet. Thanks, Ludane. Thanks very much. All right. Okay. Well done, Monique, says Dylan. Right. Yeah, here's a shorter one for you. And it is GEYM. There you go. GEYM. People are going to... Theme tune to my life, says Banjo Paul. I think I'm going to like it here. Yeah. Just watching to see. I must admit now. Hey. Yes. Somebody's got it right. 3 people straight away got it right. Dolores Petrie says, come on, everybody. No, it's not come on, everybody. Okay. So, actually, Lou Dane, one of my moderators, has actually got it right as well. But I can see straight away that Dan O'Malley, well done, Dan, got it right. Nobody's sweeping the board like last week. Thanks, Lou Dane. Thanks, Maxine. Thanks, Dave. Right. So, oh, yeah.
May I help you?
Aren't you cold?
Only from 9 to 5.
Actually, that's lovely the way she says only 9 to 5.
May I help you?
Aren't you cold?
Only from 9 to 5.
Yeah. All right. Another short one coming up. Yeah, I must admit, I think these name the Elvis songs with just the letters of the first letter of each word of the title is not as easy as some of the other quizzes like Name the Jumpsuit or Mystery Voice or things like that. Love that soundbite. She really sells the line. Yes, only from 9 to 5. Hello, Brent. Hello there. Deb H says, I need a pencil and paper. Right, question number 4. Here we go. I nearly pushed a button now. I don't push a button. I tell you what it is. IWTBF. Get out of the stables, Granny. Yeah, that was another good one I had, wasn't it, Dave? Yeah. IWTBF. Okay, let's gonna see who gets that. Oh. Yeah, a lot of people getting this. By the way, I have to remind you that you do have to have all messages and not top messages, because if you don't, you won't see all the comments, and you'll think you've got it maybe. Jack, a lot of people are getting this. I think IWTBF was an easy one. Yeah, but anyway, Jack gets the.
May I help you?
Aren't you cold?
Only from 9 to 5.
I've started saying her line now instead of Elvis's. Only from 9 to 5. Alrighty. In 0.2 seconds, Jack, I timed it. I don't think it was that quick, was it? Jack beat me by a second, says Robert. Roseanne Dalby says, I want to be free. Yeah, correct. Elvis is free. Yeah. Yeah, look out, Dylan. Jack is on fire. Yeah, he certainly is. Jack's got 2. One to Monique and one to Dan O'Malley. Right. This one's kind of in between. It's not short and it's not long. Are you ready? Question number 5. ATLYB. Okay, that's ATLYB. And I think it's time for a little drinky. ATLYB. I see Elvis Austin is in the building. Jack by a nose hair. I like it. Kirsty Marie, hello Kirsty. Yes, ain't that loving you, baby? Actually, you put Anita, that loving you, baby. That looks like predictive text to me. Banjo says Coke, please. Well, Banjo, you could have this. Elvis Austin says, dang it. Second place in three times. Wow. Jackie's on fire.
May I help you?
Aren't you cold?
Only from 9 to 5.
Okay, Cokie. Right, here we go. Sixth and final one. All right, here we go. Okay. INFILA. INFILA. Cleas Isaacson says Jack's on fire. Dylan says no clue. Jack be nimble, yeah. Jack be quick. Let me have a look. Somebody has got it right. There was somebody, but they there's a spelling error in it. They've put I instead of in. But there's a lot of people saying, I'll never fall in love again. Yeah, I agree with Maxine. It is actually Kirsty Marie that got it because unfortunately Anne Weiss put I instead of in. So yeah, Kirsty Marie. Well done, Kirsty.
May I help you?
Aren't you cold?
Only from 9 to 5.
Kirsty Marie. And that completes the quiz for this week. And I think we've got one more week. Is that correct? Is next week the 30th? So by then, I really should sort myself out what I'm going to give as the prize. And I was thinking of giving that Elvis 1972 album the vinyl. But it could happen that the person that wins it doesn't have a turntable. I personally have a turntable, and I know a lot of people do, but there's some people that just don't have a turntable anymore. So what I could do is, if the person that wins doesn't have a turntable, I could give an alternative prize. Yeah, that was fun, and it's not as easy as some of the other ones. It's not as easy as
The Mystery Voice.
Or no, that's a drum roll. Let's see what's here.
Name the jumpsuit.
Yeah. So I did get to use my jingles, folks. Right. The poll will be coming up in a minute, but I would ask you very, very nicely to give this a thumbs up because it does help with the channel. The more people that like a video or a live stream, so the more people that give this, smash as a lot of people say, smash the thumbs up, and it does help. It's a thumbs up for Elvis. It's not a thumbs up for me. But what I do want to do is I want to cover the topic now, and it is this week's topic: Elvis's fun-filled army leave. I wanted to cover this because it's an area of Elvis's army life, the 2 years or the 18 months he was in Germany, that hasn't really been mentioned a lot. And I just stumbled across it the other day, and I thought I'd like to just share it with you. I'd like to share it with, I know a lot of folks on here will have heard about this. But there might be a few new viewers and a few new fans that hadn't actually heard of it. So the morning of Saturday, June the 13th, 1959, Elvis and three friends boarded a train to Frankfurt, Germany. It was the start of a 14-day army furlough that none of them would ever forget. Joining him for the fun-filled 2-week escape from army routine were friend Lamar Fike and army buddies Rex Manfield and Charlie Hodge. Okay, and we have actually a leave cert not for this furlough, but the one earlier on in, I think it was March. Now, I'm not 100% convinced that this is the original because it just looks too crisp and clean. But as you can see, it was granted on the 28th of February, and it runs from the 2nd of March until the 5th of March, Munich, Germany. Okay, they've even spelled his name wrong, as you can see. They've put an extra E in there, Presley. And it almost looks like Elvis has actually tried to sign Presley as well, so it matches. But anyway, I'm not convinced that is the actual genuine leave. But let's go and say the first leg of a 4-hour train ride south from Frankfurt to Munich, where Elvis already knew the kind of fun to be found there. He, Lamar, Red West had spent a couple of nights in Munich on a 3-day pass the previous March, and that's the leave there. Request an authority for absence. Okay, so this was the second time they'd been, and this is Elvis went at the time to visit Vera Chikawa, and there she is. The beautiful Vera. Elvis looking devastatingly handsome as corporal. Yeah, corporal by the looks of it. They made a lovely couple. She was an 18-year-old German actress he had met that January while shooting publicity photos for March of the Dimes. Along the sites Vera showed Elvis was the Moulin Rouge, a well-known striptease club in Munich. So that's Vera. Okay, and Rex Mansfield, there's a photograph of Rex and Elvis. Okay, now, what Elvis saw that first night brought him back the next 2 nights, accompanied by Lamar. He's with all these German dancers and maybe some B-girls, call girls, Fike remembered in 1995. Listen, German girls are not innocent. German girls are extremely aggressive. This is Lamar saying this. But on the train to Munich in June, Rex had no idea about the kind of fun Elvis had in mind for the 4 of them. In Munich, they checked into the Edelweiss Hotel and prepared for a pleasurable evening at the Moulin Rouge. Elvis immediately got reacquainted with the chorus girls he'd met in Munich. Okay, let's have a little bit of the photographs. According to Peter Guralnick, in Elvis's biography, Elvis had his picture taken there with Marianne, a stripper who had developed a routine, as the wire services gleefully reported, wearing nothing but a standard size Elvis record. I don't know whether that was a 12-inch or a 45, a 7-inch. After the night's final show, some of the chorus girls were invited to the guys' quarters at the Edelweiss Hotel. We spent 2 full days and nights in Munich, Rex recalled, the whole time we spent in the Moulin Rouge or the hotel. I don't have to spell out what was going on in the hotel. It was girls, 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 and more girls. According to Lamar, after his mother died, he just let loose. Elvis had no compunction about that kind of stuff. He had absolutely no guilt and no trouble balancing his behaviour with his religious beliefs. Well, he was just a young man on a 2-week army furlough. After 3 nights in Munich, Elvis and his 3 companions made their way to Paris in a private train car. Elvis realised that he could only be able to come out and go out into Paris after dark, which fit his desires to experience the city's famous nightclubs, including the Carousel, the Café de Paris, and the Lido, or Lido, some people will call it. It started out with Gene Aberbach making reservations and taking Elvis and his friends from the club to club. Once the guys became familiar with the club scene, though, they began going out on their own. Elvis settled on the Lido as his favourite club because people didn't bother him there, and he liked the club's showgirls. The Bluebells were a string of English chorus girls working in Paris at the time. Also, Elvis liked being allowed to go backstage every night at the Lido, so it became a regular stop on the schedule that followed over their 10 days in Paris. Rex explained, We could catch the early show at one of the well-known Paris nightclubs, and almost every night we would catch the late show at the Lido. Every night after the shows closed, the show business people from all over Paris would gather at this place called the Libanteau. We would usually arrive there around 4:30 a.m. Wow. With our string of girls from the Lido. Usually Elvis would pick out 2 of the best looking and we could have the rest. Somewhere around 8 or 9 a.m. we would leave and take with us several of the Blue Bell girls to our hotel. When the fun was over around noon, Elvis and the guys would sleep until around 8 p.m., at which time they would arise, consume a champagne breakfast, take baths, get dressed and head out to follow the same routine all over again. Lamar and Rex remembered one particular episode after partying stopped one morning in the hotel suite. There must have been 20 or more girls, Rex recalled, and they were sleeping in the suite. We had to walk around them because they were laying all over the floor. I mean, it was wall-to-wall girls, and we had slept late that day till around 9:30. The Lido club manager called to say he needed the girls back so he could start that night show. Lamar had to hire several limousines to transport the Bluebell girls back to the club in time for their first show that night. All fun things must come to an end, though, and the furloughs of Elvis, Rex and Charlie expired at midnight on Friday, June the 26th. According to Rex, though, Elvis decided they would miss the train back to Frankfurt that day and spend another night in Paris. At that time, the army had a day of grace policy concerning leaves. So they knew as long as they were back at Friedberg by midnight on the 27th, they would not be AWOL. It cost Elvis $800 to hire limousines to take them back to Germany. Later, Elvis told Rex it had cost him $10,000 on the trip to Paris and that it was worth every cent. So there you go. Quite a long story that, but a fun story as well. And I hope you enjoyed some of the pictures as well, which were playing at the time. There's another picture I've got here as well, which is kind of an odd one. And that one is... Elvis has kind of got the look on his face that sort of tells me sort of like, get me out of here. She looks like she looks like one of the vampire ladies from Dracula, actually. And she's about to sink her teeth into Elvis's neck. And then there's the Bluebells as well, which he was very fond of. Some nice ladies there. So Elvis really let his hair down then during March, 3 days in March, and then 14 days in June in Munich and Paris. But that is a little story, a little sort of time in Elvis's army career that you don't hear a lot about. You hear about it, but you don't hear a lot about it. So I want to do before we do Elvis history and Photoshop, I wish Elvis had recorded, smoking hot photo, caption this photo and so forth. I want to actually do the poll because I was interested in this. It got me thinking this week about Graceland and how many of you have actually been to Graceland. So the question is, have you been to Graceland? The options are no, not yet, but planning to go soon. Yes, a very simple yes. No, and can't see me ever making it. That's quite a sad option. And then the fourth option is yes, more than once. So I'm going to ask you that question now, and that should come up on your screen any minute now. Have you been to Graceland? No, not yet, but planning to go soon. Yes, a very simple yes, I've been. No, and can't see me ever making it, unfortunately. For whatever reasons, maybe monetary or health or just the distance or whatever. Or yes, more than once. And you can leave your comments, of course. And if you're watching on playback, you won't be able to vote on this. You won't see the poll, but you will hear me give the result. And you can still leave your comments, though. You can leave your comments in the comment section below this about going to Graceland. No, you haven't been, but you're planning to go. Yes. No, and can't see me ever making it. Or yes, more than once. So yeah, I'd love to hear your comments about this after the show finishes, not just during the show. So yeah, and phone lines are open if you do want to call me about anything. You can call me free on WhatsApp, Instagram, or Facebook Messenger. And I am going to do This Day in Elvis History. I will also ask a big favor of you, and the big favor is, if you haven't already subscribed, bottom right hand corner, subscribe and click the black bell, which is all, not personalized, because personalized you just don't get any, or you get very few. So I'd love for you to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. So this day in Elvis history, 23rd of April 1955. This is an interesting one because Elvis performed Blue Moon of Kentucky and That's All Right at the Louisiana Hayride from Heart of Texas Coliseum, which is Hayride Remote in Waco in Texas. So he wasn't actually there. But I have some shots from Waco. And that's one they're taken from below the stage by the looks of it. Quite close up though. And another one more central. So that was on this day in 1955. And another big day in Elvis history was Elvis, Scotty, Bill and DJ made their Las Vegas debut opening for Freddie Martin's orchestra and comedian Shecky Green at the New Frontier Hotel. Although he had become a teen sensation by this time, Elvis was not the typical Vegas strip entertainer of the period, and the audience reception was cool to indifferent. The contract was torn up after 1 week of what was supposed to have been a 2-week engagement. Elvis later recalled, "After the first night, I went outside and just walked around in the dark. It was awful. I wasn't getting across to the audience." The experience was not a total loss, however. While there, Elvis witnessed Freddie Bell and the Bellboys doing a raucous version of Big Mama Thornton's blues hit Hound Dog, and he soon worked that song into his live act. He wouldn't play Las Vegas again for almost 13 years. Right, here's some pictures. There's Elvis outside with obviously a huge cardboard cutout of himself behind him. There he is on stage. Yeah, I mean, if a lot of you will have heard the live recording in the Venus Room. I think it's the final night because Elvis said, this is our last night and we've had a pretty hard time staying here. But if you haven't listened to it, it's available on YouTube, and just type in Elvis Live Las Vegas 1956. In fact, Get Out of the Stables, Grandma, You're Too Old to be Horsing Around was actually from that recording, actually. So, yeah, I mean, it was a miscalculation on Elvis's and the Colonel Parker's behalf. More so Colonel Parker than Elvis, because Elvis was just being guided 100% by Colonel Parker in 1956. And Parker was only sort of like a month into his management as well, wasn't he? Full-time management anyway. 1960, yeah, I've got the single Stuck on You hit number 3 in the UK. There it is. And it was an interesting sleeve for the 45, because as you can see, there was no titles printed on it because they used shots taken in Frankfurt. Yes, Frankfurt again. Telefunken Studios, sort of from February 1959. And then they just put Elvis on it, and Elvis's first new recording for his 50,000 fans all over the world. So they'd already had those pre-printed, and they obviously left the hole in the middle so that you could see what the title was of it, and it was Stuck on You. Right, what's the next year? We've got 1960. We've got, of course, GI Blues as well. He was working on GI Blues on this day in 1960. We've got Blue Hawaii with the gorgeous Joan Blackman. And then we have Girls, Girls, Girls. And do you remember last week, if you were watching, I had a complete and utter blank on Laurel Goodwin. I was okay with Stella Stevens, but I said Stella Stevens and the other girl, after 50 odd years, I've forgotten her name. And Laurel Goodwin just would not come to my mind. And I had to ask the chat, come on, help me out here, guys. Laurel Goodwin. And may they all rest in peace, actually, because unfortunately, Stella actually left us only very, very recently. Laurel, I think, was last year, I believe. And Laurel was one of the ones that I was building up to having on the show. Alas, it wasn't to be. 1964, Roustabout. Yes. Do you know what I didn't do? I didn't actually take the phones off, did I? So if you've been trying to ring me, that's my fault. I'm sorry. Right, phone lines are now open. Jane Freeman, Elvis Presley, Roustabout, post-production. So it was coming to an end on this day. Harem Scarum, post-production as well. Hello, who's calling Elvis the Ultimate Fan channel?
Hello.
Hey, Dylan. I forgot to put I forgot to put the phones on. Were you trying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah. It's alright.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good, yeah.
You weren't too good on the quiz questions though this week. Unfortunately, I think definitely your forte is the jumpsuits, without a doubt.
Yeah.
After last week, 5 was it? I think, wasn't it?
Yep, 5 in a row.
So, what would you like to speak about?
I like 2 things mainly.
So,
Is that
yeah.
I can't speak. I came across a video this afternoon.
Oh, right.
And it was a CBS special, but someone had kind of done like an edit on it. So like where they like setting up the stage and the lights and stuff.
Yeah.
They put like way down over it.
Oh.
And then they like had like it spliced where Elvis walking through the corridor in his tracksuit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was like for the heart that was playing there. And then obviously it went to like him walking out and doing the C scene and the show. But yeah, it's an interesting watch.
You should drop a link to it in the description box below. Just leave a comment and put this is the YouTube video I was talking about. So the listeners, when at the end of the show, they can click on that and have a look at it because it sounds quite interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
It's weird because people say like was Elvis like on something or like was he? No, I think he was just nervous, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because when you've got like cameras and a crowd watching, and plus you're the first person to perform in the new venue.
Yeah.
Like that's sure.
That's right.
But actually, I did hear a report about like someone giving him something to like calm his nerves down before it went out. So I think that possibly could kind of play into it as well.
Yeah.
But I don't think Elvis would ever go on stage like high or anything. So I think it's probably just like nerves. Well,
you see, the prescription medication that he was taking, he had to take because he did have health issues. Now, whether some of the side effects made him sort of sluggish or a little bit slur his words or something like that. I mean, they fine-tune drugs now so as they don't affect you as much, but that could possibly be what it was. But yeah, I know, I agree 100%. At OMA on the 19th and Rapid City on the 21st, yes, he was very, very nervous.
Yeah, and also, did you get the Photoshop that I sent you?
Yes.
Of him in...
I even think that the Photoshop this week is yours. Yes. Oh. Dylan has provided me with a Photoshop this week. So stick around, folks.
Yeah, it's crazy because like, how can I'm not gonna give it away because you're gonna show it later.
Yeah.
But I don't know how people can mistake it for what they've mistaked it as because it's so blatantly obvious that it's not.
I saw it posted on a Facebook page later on in the week, about 2 or 3 days after you sent it to me. I saw it actually posted, and I resisted the temptation to tell them that it was a Photoshop because I think it might have got into a bit of an argument, and I'm not into arguing too much over Elvis, but I might actually show them later on this week. Actually, I say, look, here's the original, and here's what you posted. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, but not everybody knows as much about the jumpsuits as say me and you.
Yeah, well, I mean, true, but even so, it's just you know those moments where like you just like banging your head, going like it's so like blatantly obvious that it's not, and like I'm like banging my head, going, oh my god.
Well,
but I mean, to be fair, like they did do like a good job of kind of like photoshopping it and making it. But
well, I mean, let me tell you what my major banging my head moment is. Okay, is when somebody says that Elvis recorded 2 pairs of hands, or what is it called? 1 pair of hands, not 2 pairs of hands.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that sounds absolutely nothing like Elvis Presley. But do you try and convince people that 1 pair of hands?
The other one, the other one is the Christmas song, the one by that I can't remember what the band's called, but it's like a 70s band.
Yeah, it's by a crowd called Mud. And it's called Lonely This Christmas. And that actually is him, the lead singer, doing his tribute to Elvis. But Elvis never recorded that song. It was Carol Robertson that recorded 1 Pair of Hands. Yeah.
And people say, oh, like, Elvis did this song in 1957. No, he didn't. It doesn't sound anything like Elvis. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I know.
I've got so many moments like that.
Yeah, I know. You just have to sort of back away in the end, because you're not going to convince some people. There's some people now. There's also some people that are convinced that Elvis recorded Hallelujah. Now, unfortunately, Hallelujah wasn't even written until the 80s, and as we know, Elvis died in 1977. So how could he have recorded a song that wasn't even written?
Well, right. No, see, right, like. I know I'm dragging on a bit, and like I do apologise, but you know how in the movie he said, "Oh yeah, we've bought Release Marie in '69." It's like that thing wasn't bought till '75. Why?
Yeah.
Like,
I know. I feel your pain. All right. Okay. Thanks, Dylan. And look out for your Photoshop in a few minutes.
I will.
Cheers. Bye. Yes, I'd forgotten about that. Dylan has actually provided me with this week's Photoshop. Yeah. Right, where was I? Blue Hawaii, Girls, Roustabout. I think I got as far as Hear 'em, Scare 'em, didn't I? 1966. Please Don't Stop Loving Me hit number 45 in the US. That was on this day in 1966. Then I've got from LA, Elvis arrived at Graceland at 9 p.m. and was welcomed by about 50 fans at the gates, also in 1966. He must have been finished up Spin Out. What else have we got? We've got Live a Little, Love a Little on this day in 1968. I forgot Clam Bake as well. Clam Bake was in 1967. Change of Habit, 1969. Ladies, the Doctor Will See You Now. 1970, Elvis arrived in Palm Springs, where he remained until April the 28th. 1971, Elvis bought a Sony tape recorder, some speakers, and a bass guitar at Bel Air Camera and Hi-Fi. What have we got here? Got something here. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, who's calling?
It's James.
Hello, James. Nice to have you on the show.
Thanks. It's nice to be on the show. It's great.
What would you like to say?
Well, I'd like to say that, I don't know if some people who may be watching the live stream, but my favourite song of what Elvis did was it's got to be Are You Lonesome Tonight? You know, the one he wrote. For me, that's the one. What you know.
Okay, and which version do you like? Because Elvis did quite a few versions through the years. He obviously did the 1960s. He did the studio version. Then he did it in Las Vegas in 1969. Of course, there's that very, very funny one where he keeps laughing all the time. Then he did the CBS special, didn't he, in 1977? Again, he couldn't stop laughing. He did the 1968 the sit down shows. He did Are You Lonesome Tonight as well. Which one is your favorite?
Mine's got to be the studio version, even though the one he did in the International Hotel in Las Vegas was funny of him laughing.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got to say that man knew how to entertain, and he also knew how to laugh and make other people laugh.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I mean, he was. As you say, he was just the ultimate entertainer. And it was very, very hard, wasn't it, to take your eyes off him once he took the stage or once he was in a movie. I made a very funny story there the other week when I was saying that I watched Spin Out. I watched when he's singing Spin Out from Spin Out on YouTube, and there's all the girls dancing around and all this and shaking their things and everything like that. And I noticed that half the time I was watching Elvis and Elvis only. I couldn't take my eyes off Elvis, even though there was all the girls jiggling around him. You
You see,
he had such a magnetism.
I figured that Elvis, he was a very classy man, but humble man.
Yeah.
He also liked his fashion, didn't he? Because he used to wear loads of jumpsuits and suits and all sort of those kind of things. So he took pride in his appearance, but Elvis did quote that that the image is one thing and him being himself was another.
Yes, correct. He did. Yeah, he very famously said that. You see, you're saying about Elvis was a very classy dresser. He certainly was, and I mean, I very, very rarely saw a picture of Elvis wearing something that didn't suit him. He could nearly wear anything. I mean, those shirts that he wore in the 1970s, that's the way it is. Those colourful shirts. I mean, if I tried to wear one of those, I would look ridiculous. He looked absolutely fantastic.
And yeah, it's just Elvis. He had something about him which no one could resist him. And like you said, the world didn't see anyone trying that sort of music, and he really set the boundary. And in my opinion, he set today's standards music. Yeah, especially rock and roll.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if we didn't have Elvis, then we wouldn't have the rock and roll music have we got today. If I'm not too wised up on today's music, but I mean, just listen to Elvis and a bit of Buddy Holly, but that's enough about that.
You sound quite a young man.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. So, and what did you think of the Baz Luhrmann movie?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, loved it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I don't think
you were obviously an Elvis fan before the movie, though.
Oh yeah, I've been an Elvis fan pretty much for a long time. Yeah.
Right.
I've got Elvis calendars, Elvis, and I've even got a TCB Elvis necklace, which I wear, as my little charm.
Okay.
If I'm feeling down, I wear that, and gives me a bit of energy.
So how did you get into Elvis then? Was it a family member or?
Literally sat in the car one day, and then this Elvis came on. I said to the person driving, "Who is this man singing?" And they basically stopped the car and turned around and looked at me. "You never heard of Elvis, son?" I was like, "No, who's Elvis?" So
yeah.
So I went to do my research and looked up who he was, and from then he just got me hooked. What can I say?
Yeah, exactly. What can you say? Do you remember the song that you heard in the car that day?
Yeah, it was I Can't Help Falling in Love.
Oh, right. Yeah. From Blue Hawaii.
And man, I sure did fall in love with Elvis.
Yeah, I know. It happens to a lot. It happens to a lot of people. You're just bitten.
Well, that's it. Like you said.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you've had your fair moments.
Yes.
Of your first time listening to Elvis. I don't know.
Yeah. I've been an Elvis fan longer than I can remember, and I wish sometimes I could just wipe my memory and go back and hear it all again. For the first time. I do envy young people and people who are just getting into Elvis, hearing the songs for the first time, seeing the movies for the first time, seeing the TV specials for the first time. I just envy them. I really do.
Yeah, May I ask, what's your favourite Elvis movie? Because you hear a lot of people about them, but I'm always curious of what's your favourite songs and what's your favourite Elvis stuff and what got you into it, you know?
Impossible to say. Impossible to say. I've got so many favourite songs. I was on a radio program there last year, Splinterwood Radio, and he asked me to name my 3 favourite Elvis songs, and I named 3 at the time. And I said to him, I said, if you ask me again next week, it'll be a different 3 songs. Because it just changes every week, and it's the same with the movies as well. You know, I say, oh, you love that movie, and so you said, oh, that must be my favorite movie. Then you see another Elvis movie, and you think, well, maybe that's better. So yeah, it is impossible. It's impossible. I've given up trying to give an answer now.
Yeah. Well, you see, the Colonel. The Colonel was very keen on Elvis. If he was going to be in a movie, he had to sing. That was.
Oh yeah.
End of full stop, because people, could you imagine Elvis, right, going into a movie and not singing a tune? Like, how many people would go and watch it? Probably none.
Well, I mean, Flaming Star, he only sang, it was supposed to be 3 songs. It was cut to 2, wasn't it, I believe? Yeah. And it didn't do too well, unfortunately. I mean, the thing is, you see, is Blue Hawaii really was so successful that it sort of sealed his fate. After doing Flaming Star, Wild in the Country, those sort of things, you know. Of course, by the time he came to do Charo, his movie career had finished anyway. He was just fulfilling the contracts then. But I mean, he was down on record as saying that he wasn't going to sing in his movies. In early 1956, he was interviewed and he said, "I'm not going to sing in my movies because you can't act like Brando or James Dean and sing a song." So I'm sure he was disappointed when they wheedled in some songs to Love Me Tender. In fact, he rang June in Biloxi from the West Coast and said that he was disappointed that they were going to ask him to sing some songs. And he actually sang Love Me Tender down the phone to her.
Man, that was some experience for her then.
Yeah, that's right. Well, James, it's really been fantastic speaking to you. Thanks very, very much for calling in, and keep listening to the show. I hope you keep enjoying the program. I really do.
I watch. You see, I watch your live streams every Sunday, and I feel like every Sunday I get something out of it. I get to learn a little bit more about the man, because for me, I like his music, but I want to know him as a human being. You know?
Yeah.
Take away the singing, take away the acting. I just want to know, what was Elvis about, you know?
Yeah.
What was his personality, you know?
Yeah. Great. That's really good to hear that you get something out of watching these shows anyway, because I always say if one person gets something out of a show, then I've done my job.
All right, I'll let you carry on with. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're not interrupting. No. It's the callers and the viewers that make this show anyway. Because as I said, without you, there would be no channel. So it's your channel anyway. It's not my channel. Thanks, James. All the best.
All right,
cheers.
It easy,
all the best. Bye. Well, what a great call. Yes, young James. I didn't like to press him too heavily on his age, but he did sound quite young. And it's like the Matt Stones and the Dylans of this world. It's great to know that there are young fans out there coming through, because we need the young fans. We definitely need the young fans coming through. Right, so I got as far as 1971. Elvis bought a Sony tape recorder, some speakers and a bass guitar at Bel Air Camera and Hi-Fi. And also on that day, he had some photographs taken with fans outside his Hillcrest home. And he just looks fabulous, doesn't he? Without a doubt. And then we move on to 1973, and we've got Elvis performed at the Anaheim Convention Center, Anaheim, California. And here he is leaving for the Coliseum. Is Sonny, Red, Joe, Vernon, just over Elvis's left shoulder. Extreme right there was Hamburger James. Here's the photographs taken at the Coliseum. June the 20. What am I saying? June. April the 23rd, 1973. So they look like fan photos. They're unfortunately they're not professional by any means, but still nice to have. Yeah. So let's go back to this again. You can see Red. You can see Sonny. You can see Vernon. You can see Dick. You can see Joe. Yeah. Extreme right there is just standing next to Dick Grobe is Hamburger James. Right. And then we have 1976. Elvis flew to Macon, Georgia to begin a tour. And what I wanted to do, sorry, I beg your pardon. That's 1976. 1975, Elvis flew to Macon, Georgia to begin a tour. Get your facts right, Steve. Then 1976, which is this photograph I was showing you, Elvis performed at the McNicholas Arena, Denver, Colorado. Ron Pietrafesco, a Denver police officer who had become friendly with Elvis, tried to discuss Elvis's prescription medication with Elvis. I hope I'm saying his surname right. Pietrafesco. Somebody tell me if I'm saying it right. But anyway, we know Ron, and he did sort of try and broach the subject with Elvis, but I'm not too sure that Elvis wanted to know. But anyway, there's the photographs taken in 1976. Fan photographs. The prehistoric bird jumpsuit. Bicentennial. I think people called that as well, didn't they? The bicentennial jumpsuit. Right. Don't forget, you can still vote on Have You Been to Graceland? If you click on the blue bar, it'll drop it down. Have you been to Graceland? No, not yet, but planning to go soon? Yes. No, and can't see me getting there, making it, unfortunately. And yes, more than once. So I'll be interested to see what the votes are on that. Now, I've got some really nice photographs of 1977. Elvis performed at the University of Toledo Centennial Hall, Toledo, Ohio, and Felton Jarvis continued to the recording he had started during the last tour. And these are some really, really nice shots of Elvis on this day in 1977 in Toledo, Ohio. He looks like he's having fun with a scarf there. He's getting some water, I think, there from Charlie, by the looks of it. That's probably near the beginning, probably when he's singing CC Rider. Beautiful shots. Not a favourite of mine, the sundial, but then again, he looks fine. Right, that is this day in Elvis history, and we are going to do the Photoshop that me and Dylan were talking about earlier on, and this is basically it. And Dylan says, people are saying that this is the red pinwheel with the blue nail belt. In reality, what they've done is taken a photo of the blue nail and coloured it red. And to prove his point, he sent me the original as well. And as you can see, just flip your eyes backwards and forwards. You can see that it is an identical pose. It is an identical photograph, apart from the fact that they've coloured the jumpsuit red. I mean, the fingers are in exactly the same position. His face is exactly the same. Even the line of his hair going down the side of his face is exactly the same. The other hand, the microphone cable, everything is the same. So unfortunately, if you see that red jumpsuit picture, it is actually Photoshop, and there is the genuine unphotoshopped picture. So thanks to Dylan for that. Much appreciated, Dylan. And if there's anybody that wants to send in Photoshop pictures, if you can do what Dylan did and send me the Photoshop picture and obviously the original, even better. because then I can show them side by side. Kirsty Marie actually has got a very, very nice Instagram page called Exposing the Elvis Photoshops, and I might actually steal a few from there if that's okay, Kirsty, if you don't mind. Hello, who's calling Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel?
Hi, Steve. It's Chris.
Hello, Chris. Nice to hear from you.
Hi.
Now you're Chris, art student. For anybody that's not sure,
Chris. Yeah, Chris R. Yeah.
Chris R. art student.
I'll knock the art thing, but I'll knock the artist off.
Yeah, because it's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it?
It was a mouthful, wasn't it? Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So how you doing?
I just wanted. Yeah, not too bad.
Good.
Just having tests at hospital, but I've got to go back.
I hope they'll be okay.
So
yeah.
Thank you. I just wanted to have a quick chat about the DVD that Banjo Paul very, very kindly donated to me.
Yes, this was the prize that Banjo Paul actually won last month, and he donated it very, very kindly to Chris. And you got that last week, I think, didn't you?
I got that last week, yeah, and I watched it.
You've had a chance to watch it, have you? Okay.
Of course, yeah. I was very excited to receive it, and I thought I've seen everything, but there was bits on it that I hadn't seen, or it was very clear. I think it was Jack, wasn't it? Jack Mullins?
Jack Mullins, yes. Yeah, it was.
Yes, so thank you for that, Jack, as well, because it was restored beautifully.
Yeah.
I mean, I had seen some of it, but some of the shots, I'm like, I can't remember seeing, or maybe I hadn't, it wasn't that good quality. So it really stood out.
It was called Hot Shots and Cool Cuts or something, wasn't it called?
I've got in front of me Hot Shots and Cool Clips.
Cool Clips, yes.
And I did think I've seen everything, but there was parts on there, unless I'm not remembering it, but like some of the karate army footage.
Yeah.
And there was 1972 with Chicago.
Yeah.
Live from the fan who recorded it. And I started thinking, that it's absolutely great footage. He looks gorgeous. It's lovely and clear. And I sat and I thought, I was 3.5 years old when he was doing that.
Yeah.
It's a bit mad, wasn't it? 3.5 years old.
Yeah, I know.
I did want to quickly come on and again thank Banjo Paul and Jack for fantastic footage.
So if anybody can get hold of these DVDs called Hot Shots and Cool Clips, then you'd recommend it, yes? Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, this is volume 5, this one.
Yeah.
So I would be interested in seeing some others as well, definitely.
I wonder where they're available from. If this is volume 5, then obviously there's another 4 at least, isn't there? There could be more than 5 though. There could be, this could just be one in the middle. But I'm wondering, I must check it out. I must Google it and see what I can find. Yeah,
me too as well, because obviously I didn't know when it came, and because I saw like you put it up and everything, but I looked at the back and I thought, yeah, I'm going to be watching this. I mean, some of it there was just music to it.
Yeah.
Like just footage where you see Elvis and everything. But there was some talking as well on it as well. The More from Hawaii interview thing that I saw before. Yeah. But it's all just lovely, not grainy. It's just really good footage, and it's been done a lot. It's beautiful footage anyway. So
folks,
yes,
you know that the Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel gives away good prizes.
Absolutely. I probably, I did think I've probably seen them, but it'd be cool to have. But then as it was playing, I'm like, I haven't seen that bit.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding you. That's exactly what I was like.
I know. Well, I mean, we always think we've seen it all, and then of course a couple of weeks ago that footage at Elvis arriving at St. Louis came out. So there's always something more to say. It's great.
That's it, and that's best thing about Elvis.
Yeah, I agree.
Still surprising us.
All right. Well, Chris, thanks very much for calling in and letting us know about that. And look after yourself, won't you?
Steve.
All righty.
You too, yeah.
Bye-bye.
And thanks, Steve. Yeah, we'll do.
No
Bye.
problem. Bye. Bye-bye. Yeah, so that's it. Hot shots and cool clips. Chris won volume 5, but I'm sure there's another 4 or 5 volumes, obviously. I mean, that could be just the middle. I don't know. Jack might be able to tell us. But that's... I'm going to search that, actually, and see if I can find out where the other volumes are available from. And... Jack is just saying maybe some B-roll. Oh, he's answering Elvis Austin. And maybe give another one. Maybe I can give another one away as a prize. Now, a song I wish Elvis had recorded. By the way, keep voting on Have You Been to Graceland? No, not yet, but planning to go soon. Yes, no, and can't see me ever making it, unfortunately. Or yes, more than once. Because I was a little bit curious to find out how many of the regular viewers to this show had been to Graceland. I myself have been to Graceland only once, but I do plan to go again, hopefully. Fingers crossed. A song I wish Elvis had recorded. And as I said near the top of the show, Doug Dickerson. Hi, Doug. I'm not sure whether Doug's watching. He might be watching on playback. But Doug, thanks for sending this in. The song is by American singer-songwriter Steven Sanchez. Now, I will get his photo up in a minute. It was released on September the 1st, 2021. Yes, only 2 years ago. Less than 2 years ago. As the lead single from Sanchez's second extended play, Easy on My Eyes, written by Sanchez and produced by Ian Fitchuk and Conrad Snyder. The song peaked at number 23 on the Billboard Hot 100 and at number 16 on the UK singles chart. The song received viral support on TikTok. Sanchez explained that the addressee Georgia refers to his real-life girlfriend, who he had previously distanced himself from. The song is called Until I Found You. Doug says, it's a current song that I just happened to hear on the radio, and I had thought that it sounded like maybe a song Elvis would have done in the early 60s. I hope with it being a Elvis song, I hope that with being a song Elvis never heard, that it won't be disqualified because of that. No, not at all, Doug. Definitely not. No, I can see exactly where you're coming from, and I'm going to allow it. I mean, I know when we first started doing this, it was songs up until 1977 because, we wished Elvis had the chance to record this particular song before he passed away. But I can see where you're coming from. This song, you could hear Elvis singing it, and that's why I'm going to put a link in the description box for you below. Click on it and let me know in the description box if you think Elvis could have recorded that. Would he have done a good job? Yes, he probably would have done, because let's face it, he did a good job on just about every song he put his mind to. A YouTube channel I recommend, The Ultimate Elvis Channel by Leon Smith. It's quite close to the title of this channel, isn't it? Elvis, the Ultimate Fan Channel. But Leon's is called The Ultimate Elvis Channel. And he does a lot of first take to last take videos, where obviously he gets the recording session and he plays you the whole list of takes, whether it be 10 takes or 5 takes or 20 takes. And he's got 820 videos on his channel to listen to. So I will leave a link to Leon's channel, because I recommend it, and that's the one I recommend this week. If there's a particular channel that you like, Elvis channel that you like, send it in to me and I'll see what I think, and I'll say that you recommend it as a fan. Now, there's obviously, I forgot to show you Sanchez, what was his name? Steven Sanchez. That's Steven Sanchez's album cover, Until I Found You. Okay, so caption this photo. We always have a lot of fun with this, and this was the photo that I posted on the community tab last Monday or Tuesday, I think it was. So look out for that. Go to this channel and click on the community tab, and it'll show you this week's picture of caption this picture. And somebody said here, I'm getting the hang of taking selfies. Gonna stick like glue, because it looks like his fingers actually stuck on his face. No, it's not a wedding ring. I am still single, ladies. Mama said that if I close my eyes and pray, the Elvis haters will disappear. I wish. I told them I don't like fish. That was another one. These army razors give you a smooth shave, man. But the one that I picked, I liked the best, was by you, Beverly Fanning. I can sing with my fingers up my nose. Wanna see? I like that one. I did. I like that one. And as I say, I'll be posting a new caption this photo Monday or Tuesday. Go to the community tab. And when you leave your caption, remember to pick one that you like the best and give it a thumbs up, because then if a particular one gets a lot of thumbs up, I will mention that as the favorite. Or if nobody gets a lot of thumbs up, I will pick my favorite. Now, Smoking Hot. Oh, still to come is a photograph that I discussed last week, and I found out a little bit more information on it. So stick around for that. And I'm going to do Smoking Hot. And this is one. And basically, ladies, I know it's a definite thud moment for you. And he is just about to make a phone call to you. So if he was ringing you, I think you would definitely get all flustered, wouldn't you? And yes, he does look smoking hot in that. And that is the one that I've picked for this week. If there's a particular photograph that you always drool over, then please send it in to me, and maybe I can use it in a future show. Now, this is the photograph. This is the one I showed last week, and I was saying I thought it was sort of early 60s, and I wasn't sure whether it was taken at Graceland or wherever it was, but there's a young lady there offering him 45s to sign. Well, there are, and I knew I'd seen it somewhere before, there's these photographs taken from the opposite side, and there you can see just above Elvis's head the young lady with the 45 singles. Okay, hang on a second. Hello there.
Is this the Elvis Ultimate channel?
Yeah, it is. Hi.
Oh, Craig, I've got through.
Yeah, who's that?
It's Darren from Stoke-on-Trent, Staffordshire. I've met Todd Slaughter 3 times, and people, I do watch your program sometimes, but like I say, I sing on my Facebook page, Darren Fan Club, and like I say, the new Elvis film doesn't tell the truth.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, we know that there were some sort of inaccuracies, and sort of the timeline was sort of convoluted in places and things like that. But you're saying you know Todd. I've actually spoke to Todd on the phone a few times. I was trying to get Todd on this show actually for an interview, and I must pursue that actually.
I've met him 3 times.
Yeah.
And he's met Elvis 3 times. Like I say, my dad was in Germany in 1959. And like I say, Elvis was 5'11" straight, and like I say, the outtakes are, like I say, the reason why they won't bring Elvis on tour because Warner don't own all the rights.
That's right.
You know, and like I say, I do watch your show, and I'm a personal friend of Gordon Hendricks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who? Sorry, Gordon
Hendricks.
Okay, just.
He won Stars in the Rise in 2005.
Right, I wasn't familiar with his name, but I know who you mean now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's good. He is. Well, I think on Facebook.
Well, just going back to Todd. Todd is, as we know, he's been head of the UK Elvis Presley fan club since what was it 1967, and there's actually footage of him being presented with a trophy for 10 years as head of the fan club by Elvis on the tarmac in Indianapolis, isn't there?
It cost £100 for him to do that.
Yeah, that's right. He wanted to. He asked the film crew to tape it, didn't he? And he says, "Here's $100." Yeah, yeah.
But like I say, in the film, I've watched it over 20 times. It says his mum died before he went into the army. That's not true.
No, she died before he went overseas. Yeah.
Yeah, because he came out to the service and thingy. Because like I say, I'm 49 years old.
Mm.
But like I said, I've been looking on Facebook tonight about releasing Elvis footage. That will never happen.
What the Elvis on tour?
Yeah.
Oh well, they're working. They're actually working towards it. Actually.
Oh well, most of it's on bootleg anyway.
Yes, yeah, but we want you see we want it professionally released. You see.
Yeah. Like I say, I've been banned from fan clubs, from groups because I told the truth. Because like I say, you say Elvis was scared of flying. That's not true. What it was, he bought a plane in 1975, the Lisa Marie. Yeah,
that's right. He did. April 1975. Yeah.
I'm just wondering, how are you talking to me? If this is this live? Because, like I say, it looks a bit different.
Yeah, no, this is live. Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
And how are you?
Yeah, grand, no problem.
Like I say, I've got mental health, and like I say, I'm doing changes on the Monday, Steve, because like I say, I've been through a trauma, I've been beaten up and like that.
Oh, right, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, like I say, I'm really nervous about ringing tonight because I was a bit anxious.
No need to be nervous because you're amongst friends here. We're all like an Elvis family.
Yeah, but like I say, I was in the Elvis group, and they were a bit nasty because like I say, you've got to be very careful what you say about Elvis on Facebook because like I say,
yeah, I know people sometimes take it the wrong way, don't they?
Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Steve.
Yeah, sorry, what was your name again? I didn't catch it at the start.
Darren Hand.
Okay, Darren. All right. So thanks very much, Darren. I hope you do continue to enjoy the show.
If you want to join me fan club, it's a Darren Hand fan club because I've done over 4,000 videos.
Okay, no problem. Okay.
Thank you, Steve.
All the best. Bye. Bye. Yeah, just for anybody that doesn't know, the guy that he was mentioning, Todd Slaughter, yes, Todd still is, as far as I'm aware, although he has taken more of a back seat the last couple of years. He is head of the UK Elvis Presley fan club, and he met Elvis numerous times. And I will be able to tell you a little bit more about Todd probably next week because, I'll keep that for next week anyway. Right, where were we? I was asking you to vote on the poll, wasn't I? I did the smoking hot, and I was doing this photograph. Yes, this photograph that I showed last week. Now, there it is, taken from the other side, and as you can see, the lady just above Elvis is the lady shown here with her back to us, offering those for signing. Okay, and there's also another one. You can clearly see the music gates in the background, and there's another one just lower down and closer to Elvis, and there's the same lady again with the 45s in her hand with glasses on and the music gate behind her. Now, it does say on the internet May 1960. However, in May, Elvis was still in California working on GI Blues. So I probably think that is more likely to be June or July. Excuse me, I got the hiccups now. Would you believe that? June or July 1960 that was taken at Graceland. Elvis going into Graceland. So I just wanted to share that with you because I'd shown that last week, and I said I wasn't 100% sure where it was taken, and now I am. It was taken on the same evening outside Graceland, and I do think, because somebody has said May 1960, move that on just a couple of months because he was still on the West Coast working on GI Blues. So I wanted to share that with you. I've done Smoking Hot, haven't I? I've done Caption This Photograph. And I've also done YouTube channel I recommend. I'll tell you again which one it is. It's the Ultimate Fan Channel by Leon Smith. So, and thanks to all the callers tonight. They were great callers, really was. And I hope you enjoyed that quiz, Name the Elvis Songs. Because I was looking there and there was nowhere near as many correct answers as there normally is. Normally when I give a question and within a few seconds there's like 20 right answers. Well, that wasn't the case tonight. However, probably next week it'll be Name This Jumpsuit or The Mystery Voice or Backwards Elvis. Backwards Elvis is always a lot of fun. Let's do the poll, because I am as interested as anybody else. So end the poll. Well, I'm going to have a wee look first of all. Have you been to Graceland? No, not yet, but planning to do so soon. Yes, no, and can't see me ever making it. And yes, more than once. End poll. And it is... Okay, no, not yet. Planning to go soon, 30%. Yes, 26%. No, and can't see me ever making it, 24%. 24% think they'll never make it to Graceland. And yes, more than once, 17%. How about I do a video on a sort of, what they call that? Not an artificial, but a virtual tour of Graceland. Maybe I should do that. Although there probably is one available online, is there? But Elvis also says, I'm the 17%. Yes. And Norset says, dream big, everyone. Yeah, I mean, there was a time when I thought I would never make it to Graceland, and I did. And I'm so glad I did. And my only dream now is that I get to go again. So this has flown by again, and I hope it's been fun for you. I really do. As much fun as I've had. I hope I haven't forgot to do anything. I've got this feeling tonight that I should have done something for you, but I don't know what it is. But until next Sunday, look after yourselves, and please take care. And whatever you do, keep it Elvis. And I hope to see you back here next Sunday. Thanks to Lou, Dave and Maxine for moderating. Take care, everyone.
Elvis has left the building. Thank you and good night.